are ever flowing through the fields of wildflowers. Let the peaceful freedom draw you in. Let it draw you in. In the heart of every moment, there's a magic hour.
Hello my friends, in this episode, I'm going to talk about my experience in using one of the most premium lenses made by Fujifilm, the 15mm f1.0 lens, for video and photography. I got an opportunity to test shoot some video and photos with this bokeh-licious lens, along with my ST4, and I would like to thank Fujifilm Hong Kong for borrowing this lens for me. Before you keep on watching, please subscribe to my channel while I share my experience in using my Fujifilm camera and lens. Now, let's take a look at some pictures that I took with the Fuji 15mm f1 lens.
Come talk with me, stay and watch the day grow old. I've been waiting for the moment to arrive. Come stand with me down under the stars at night.
First of all, this lens is huge, especially for a lens that's designed for an APS-C sensor. The size of the lens is similar to a constant f2.8 zoom for a full-frame system. For Fuji shooters who love compact prime lenses, the 15mm f1 is most likely not a lens that you will bring out everyday for portrait shots. It's more for specific shoots, like you will only use it if you really need to shoot at f1.0 aperture. At first, I was expecting the 15mm f1 to be about as heavy as the 16 to 55mm f2.8 zoom, but in fact, the 15mm f1 felt much heavier. If you are coming from a full-frame system and already used to big and heavy lenses, the size and weight of the 15mm f1 should not be an issue. Now, let's talk about the build quality. The good thing with this lens is that it feels very well made with its all-metal build. Even the focus ring is pure metal. This lens is also weather sealed, which is great for photographers who use this lens to shoot outdoor portraits. The aperture ring moves nicely, but it moves quite easily. There's a lot of times the aperture ring doesn't stay at f1.0 or other f-stops that I often shoot at, and I have to check if it's the right aperture every time before I take a picture. So, about the downsides, there's no manual focus clutch on this lens. This is a problem for shooting video with this lens, especially when I want to pull back the focus ring to do manual focus instantly. The reason why I need a focus clutch is that it will be much easier to nail the focus when I want to switch to MF when the continuous autofocus doesn't work well in video, which is a common issue when you use Fuji cameras for video work. One other thing missing is there's no declick option for the aperture ring on the 15mm f1 lens. This would be an issue for filmmakers who need smooth adjustment of exposure when changing apertures. The reason why you are getting this lens is because you want that f1.0 aperture, and you would definitely want sharp detail and high contrast even when shooting at f1. I can honestly tell you that you won't be upset with the image quality this lens can produce at f1. Let's spend a moment and take a look at these pictures and videos I took, all at f1 aperture. I shot at f1.0 for all the photos and video, and I am very amazed with the sharpness at f1. There's no issue of lack of detail, losing sharpness, or low contrast when you shoot at f1 on this lens. To be honest, I don't even think of stopping down the aperture to get sharper photos. Because when you open up the aperture wide open and shoot at f1, you start to see the magic appearing. There's a unique look and character on how this lens captures a picture at f1. Also, this lens is so much more than a portrait lens. I use it a lot for food shots, street shots, and even some cityscapes. All I can say is the 15mm f1 is a super sharp lens, and rest assured you can shoot at f1 while keeping a high level of detail and contrast. In my experience of using the lens for photo work, the autofocus is very fast and responsive. It's really amazing to have AF in such a bright lens with f1.0 aperture. But the question is the autofocus good for video use? In my experience of shooting at f1.0 and using CAF in video, there are many times the camera couldn't nail the focus on the face or the eyes. I have to retake a couple of shots to try to get better focus, but still, it's nearly impossible to get 100% accurate focus.
Come stand with me down under the stars at night. Come look with me from where I stand. You can see most everything, and I've been waiting for the moment to arrive. I was waiting for the moment to arrive. I was waiting for the moment to arrive. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Okay, here's the verdict. If you want super smooth background blur, creamy bokeh, high level of sharpness at f1.0, the Fuji 15mm f1 is an absolutely gorgeous portrait lens for the Fuji X system. If you are using the Fuji 15mm f1 for video, I suggest pairing this lens with the X-T4 or the XS10 for image stabilization. For the best stability, I put this lens on a gimbal and shoot in 4K 60 frames to get smooth cinematic shots. Speaking of its size, the 15mm f1 is a big and chunky lens. It's not a lens that you would like to carry every day. It's more suitable for pro shoots, which you know what this lens can specifically do to produce pictures with a unique character and look. If you are just a casual shooter, you can look at other alternatives in similar focal length. There's the Fuji 56mm f1.2, the super compact 15mm f2. All these lenses are significantly smaller and more compact than the 15mm f1. For me, I found it to be tough and tiring to carry the 15mm f1 lens for a whole day shoot. Last but not least, the premium price tag of the Fuji 15mm f1 is the biggest concern to whether to buy this lens or not. Well, even though the lens is extremely well built and has superb image quality at f1.0, I'm not fully convinced to pay a premium price for this lens. This lens is designed for photographers who have a specific need to shoot at f1.0. So, if you like this episode, you can give your support by writing a comment and subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell to stay tuned to my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.